Now we'll be learning about the conditional statement or decision making in Python. The objectives are understanding the decision making or conditional statement in Python, learn about the actual conditional statement like if, elif, and else, and finally practicing with some simple problems. So why conditions? Programs often need to make decisions like if one person having age of greater than 18, then he is eligible to vote. So here is the basic if statement, and we wrote one sample program. So we will copy this program and we will open in our VS Code and we will paste in the empty program. So here I made one new program, conditional.py. So here I pasted the sample program. So here the line number 1 is defining one variables name age, and we assign 20 as the value of the age variable. And here is the syntax of writing the conditional statement. Here we wrote if the age variable is greater than or equal to 18, then in the terminal it will print you are an adult. Okay, so here is the basic syntax of conditional if statement. And if you notice that in earlier, here we defined as a comparison operator. So we are comparing this age variable with this fixed value of 18, because 18 is the fixed variable for most of the countries for eligible for vote, right? So this variable can be vary person to person for his age, right? So currently this age is 20, and here we are saying that if this age is greater than 18, then it will come to this block and then it will print to the terminal. So let's run this program, Python conditional.py. So we are seeing that in the terminal it is printing you are an adult. Let's make this variable to like 16. So now this comparison is no longer true because age is now 16, and we are telling that if this age is greater than 18, so it's not greater than 18 or equal to 18, it's under 18. So this comparison output is false, and therefore if we run this program we are not going to get any result. That means after writing the if statement, we are putting some logic here, and when this logic is going to true, and then it's coming to the true block, right? So here if we put hard-coded like true, then it's going to print the value in the terminal like you are an adult. And if we hard-codedly write here false, then if we run this program, it's not going to come in the terminal. That means this portion will have always the comparison value of true or false. All right. So here let's make it like before, and it will work like that way. So whenever these values are varies, based on the values, this will act like the decision, and this will print like on a decision. And here we are defining the decision here, correct? Okay, moving forward, then we have another statement, that is else statement. Here if you notice that when this comparison is not true, then we are not seeing anything in the terminal. But say for example, if it's not matched or it's not eligible, then we want to show some text as well. So here simply we can add the else statement here. So else, and then we can print some other message like you are not an adult, right? So here if I run the program again, so here it is saying now you are not an adult, and if it's going to be high like 18 or age is equal to 18, then it's going to be true here, and finally it will be printed here, and at that time it will be not printed. Okay, so either this block will be executed or this block will executed, and this is completely handled by here the decision maker. Okay, so if I run now, we can see you are an adult. All right, so moving forward, here we see another block statement. Here it's actually represent multiple if, elif, and else statement. Let's copy this sample program and paste into our program. All right, here we are seeing that we defined one variable called marks, and its value is 75 assigned. Okay, so here normally here if the marks is greater than or equal to 80, then we are printing the grade of the marks. Based on this mark, we are printing the grade A. If the marks is greater than 60 or equal to 60, then grade B, and if the marks is greater than or equal to 40, then it's grade C, otherwise it's fail. So here in this scenario it's coming the multiple if-else logic. So that's how we can actually write the elif statement here. So we cannot write else statement here. Okay, so it will come some errors here. So when you have multiple conditions or multiple scenario like this, then you have to use the sequence of this if, elif and else block. So in between you can add as many elif block as you want, right? Okay, so now let's run this program now. So the current marks is now 75. Now it's actually going to print the grade B because 75 is not greater than 80, okay, but 75 is greater than 60. Okay, let's run this program. So here it's printing grade B. That means when the first block is not matched, then it try to match the second block. When the second block matches, then it's print directly and omit all of this thing. That means no matter how many condition you have there, once a block is matched, then that block is only printed and other blocks are useless. It will be omitted and it will not be printed in the terminal, or it will not execute the code. Okay, so here if we make this program 80 or 89, then at the first block it is matching the result because here it's having the result of true. So when for the first time it getting the true value, then that block only will be executed and other block will be omitted. Let's run this program. Okay, so it's running grade A. But if we put any value that is less than this 40, then this 3 block is never going to execute because this 3 condition is not true. And finally, if any value is not matched, finally the else block is automatically printed. So here if I put 30, that means any values is not matching here with these conditions. Finally, it's failing down to this else statement. So let's run this program. So if you see, it's printing us to fail. Now the next thing is the nested if statement. It can have nested if else statement as well. Okay, let's see this simple program in action. Okay, just copy this sample program and just paste it here. Here we have 2 variables now. One is age equal 25 and then citizen equal true. Here for the first age variable, it's trying to compare if the age is greater than 18, then it will execute this block. Okay, and then here we can see another if else block. So now for the first condition, here age is matching or this condition is true because 25 is greater than 18. So the program will enter in this block. So in this block, the program will see here is another statement. Okay, so here the variable citizen equal true. That means if citizen is true, then it's going to execute this block. Otherwise, it is going to execute this else block. Okay, currently age is 25, that means this is true, and citizen is true, that means this condition is true, and finally it's printing to this line. Okay, and this is omitted. So now let's run this program so you can vote. But if we make this citizen false, then if we run again, so it's going to failing down to this else statement. All right, but if we make this like 10, that means this person is not even eligible to vote even if he is a citizen. Correct? So if we even also make this citizen is true, that means the person who is age of 10 but also he is the citizen of the country, still he cannot vote because the first condition is not met. Okay, so if we run this program again, so here we cannot see anything in the terminal. Even this citizen is true because the parent condition is not met. It's not going to execute any code under this main statement. Okay, so here is some homework for you. So the first program is write a program that asks the user for the age, print whether they are a child, teenager, adult or senior. So you know well what the age of group is this. The second homework is write a program that checks whether a number is positive, negative or 0. So this is the homework for you.